Hey guys, how's it going? Excuse my inky fingers. Um, okay, so I just wanted to do kind of a little, I don't know, flip and chat sort of thing. Look through some coloring books and just have a little talk. Nothing serious. Well, I mean, I guess it is a little serious, but so quickly, I had made an order with Book Outlet here in the US, and I don't if any of you have been on to the Book Outlet website, you'll know that you really don't get much of a description. I mean, all you can see really is the front cover of a coloring book, and unless you are familiar with the book or you've seen, you know, a flip through on YouTube or something like that, you kind of don't really know what the pages look like. You don't even get to see the back of the book. So anyway, so I just took a chance on a bunch of books, and you know, because they're pretty cheap. Like, I think this one was like $5. So anyway, and you can return stuff to them. They, you know, so it's not a huge deal. But anyway, so I got some books from them, and I kind of went sort of like outside of my box a little bit, and just because I've been watching so many different colorists, and you know, so many people have such cool styles, and you know, in working in coloring books that I never really thought I would enjoy, but they've been able to just do some really creative things with some of these pages, and so it was really inspiring. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to get some books that are outside my wheelhouse and see what I can do. Anyway, so I've been on the hunt for mandala books, and yeah, I'm on the hunt, and there's a very specific type of mandala that I want, and I think it's going to be pretty similar to mandalas that I've drawn in the past, but yeah, so that's going to be kind of hard to find. But I did get that one. I don't know if this one. I got this one that I really like, and she's got a couple other ones that I want to grab too, I think. Anyway, so I picked up the mandala coloring book, and I'm not going to flip through the whole book, but I will say it's not really what I want. I guess I'm just really picky about them, but the lines are too fine, and I'm getting older, so it's like sometimes I just have a hard time keeping my hand as steady as I used to be able to, and also my vision is not as good. Even though I've got glasses and all that, sometimes it's just hard to see. But anyway, there are some beautiful mandalas in here, and I think maybe I will work on a couple of them. Now, that keeping in mind what I just said, some people would say, well, you can scan those pages, and you know, you can scan the ones that you like, print them on different paper, and enjoy them maybe a little bigger or whatever. And so I've been doing some research, and a couple videos ago, I think it was a haul video, and I've said it a couple times in a couple of videos. I don't have that many videos yet, but I have said it a couple times where copying pages is infringing on copyright law. And so boy, did I get jumped on the last time I said it. And so got into a pretty in-depth, so this is Imaginaria in the Wild, and this is, all these are going to be from Book Outlet. I have some other ones too I want to show you, but I'm just going to show these to you. I'm not going to talk about them too much because I really want to discuss what the copyright thing. So anyway, you can read the title. So I'm just going to kind of flip as I'm talking. Otherwise, I'll just lose my train of thought. Anyway, so I got into a pretty in-depth conversation in the comments on one of my last videos. And with one particular viewer. And I just want to say I really appreciated the tone in which this viewer replied to my comment, my verbal comment in the video about what I had said about copyright. And so it just kind of caused me, it prompted me to sort of ask more questions, and not necessarily just Googling it. Because, so here's the thing, and I have said a couple of times that, you know, like I said, that it's illegal to copy coloring book pages and print them. So in reality, like, it kind of is, but it kind of isn't. So there's like this gray area that, and I'm not a lawyer, right? I'm not the coloring book police. And believe me, like, I would love to be comfortable with scanning pages that I really want to color and printing them onto different paper. So, you know, it's something that I've always been kind of concerned about. Like, I don't, since I'm doing the YouTube thing, doing this channel, it's something that I would like to do, but I don't necessarily want to, like, encourage people to do that. And that's kind of the mindset that I've been coming from. And the reason that I'm coming from that mindset is because in my past life as a junk journal creator, artist, copyright has always been a huge deal. And I'm talking about, you know, scanning images, printing images, either to use in digital works that you are going to sell, or, you know, in junk journals that you're going to sell. And I get it. Like, the sell, like, I'm going to sell is the thing, right? And that's the key word, right? But I have always just known, basically, that things that are copyrighted, you just don't copy them. And I guess it's just been kind of an eye-opener, I guess, for me, that in the coloring book community, it's something that is acceptable. And so I'm just kind of like, whoa, like, it sort of blows my mind, right? And the thing is like, there's a right way and a wrong way to, like, correct somebody in a YouTube comment. And to just come out and say, like, you're wrong, you need to correct that, you know, and just blast somebody, you generally don't get a great reaction. So, and also you have to understand that everybody's coming from a different point of view and a different perspective, and everybody has different experiences in their life. And I don't think anybody who has commented on that previous video is an attorney, or specifically a copyright, like, attorney. I really like this chicken. So I know I'm kind of just rambling, but I guess what I'm trying to say is that I have reached out to a couple of different coloring book artists that also have YouTube channels that also not only sell coloring books, but also sell digitals. And I'm not going to say who those artists are. I think if you use your imagination, you can figure out, I like this one, you can figure out who I'm talking about. And both of those, I just kind of put the question to them, like, how do you feel about people scanning pages from your coloring books in order to print the images on, quote, better paper? And they both came back and said that they were fine with it. And I just was kind of like, huh, okay, like, that's great, you know, and I stand corrected, you know. So I guess what it comes down to is fair use. And that's a term relating to copyright where there are exceptions to, you know, reasons that you can copy something and print it onto paper to make a copy of something that's copyrighted. And yeah, so I guess, you know, I guess it's okay to do that. But I think that it gets tricky when, you know, first of all, you can't sell them. You can't sell those copied images. And I don't know how much of a book you are allowed to copy. You know, like, are you allowed to, I mean, I'm just throwing this out because I'm just a person that asks why and how, and, you know, I'm a questioner. So can you buy a coloring book and scan the whole book and then just have it in a folder on your computer and then print out the pages you want to color whenever you want, and then you put that book back on the shelf and you never color anything in the actual book? And you don't sell it, you don't distribute it, you don't share it with your friends on Facebook, you don't put it into a coloring group and distribute those files or anything like that. So, I mean, is that okay? Because then you won't ever ruin any of your coloring books. You know, and then you never have to worry about whether or not they have decent paper or, you know, anything like that. Or you could, I'm just saying that, like, I don't know. I mean, people do crazy stuff. Like, so you get a book, you scan it, and then return it. Like, where do you draw the line? I guess that's kind of where I'm coming from. Like, I'm not trying to say that that's okay, and I hope I don't get sued. But yeah, so I wouldn't recommend that either, you know. Anyway, so that was the American West, and I just thought this one was really cool. I liked the cover, and it was one of those, I just took a chance on it, and it just reminds me of, you know, like the Marlboro Man or whatever. And yeah, anyway, I don't know if I'll ever color anything in it, but I thought it was kind of cool, and I'm gonna keep it. What else did I want to say? So I found out about basically how a couple of different artists feel about it. Another thing is that I just want to say that a book that's out of print doesn't mean that it's out of copyright. Like, just because a book is no longer being produced doesn't mean that the copyright isn't still, like, valid. Just saying. Yeah, I'm not the coloring book police, and so in the future I will be scanning some pages and coloring in them, and you'll probably see them on my channel. And I'll tell you what, I love coloring on alternate types of paper. Like, I love coloring on pastel paper. I like to color on craft paper. So yeah, so, you know, after having this conversation and after having, you know, basically gotten permission, I would say, to do that, I'm happy about it. Like, I'm totally happy about it. And I apologize if I, you know, was kind of like know-it-all-y or whatever about it. I really wasn't trying to be. I guess maybe I was, but I misspoke. Okay, but so yeah, I can eat a little crow and say that I've learned. And yeah, so I guess basically, as long as you're not copying the entire book, storing the files, and returning the book, which I think it would be really bad, and you're copying pages that you really want to color on different paper or better paper for your own personal use, and you're not distributing them, and you're not selling them or anything like that, then I think it's okay. So anyway, oh God, what have I done? I do want to say, though, that it is concerning to me when I go on Etsy and I'm looking for digitals to color, images that I'd like to color, and I'm seeing bundles of, okay, I'm just going to say, I'm not going to talk about any particular Etsy shops or anything, but there's a few listings that come up for Coco Wyo images where it's like 5,000 images or 6,000 images for like $3, you know? And I guess, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I just have a hard time with that. Like, I guess, and now I know from experience that there have been things, because I know creators who make digitals and things like, and people like that, okay, personally, who have made digitals for sale on Etsy that have been stolen and sold on other websites, or altered slightly and sold on other websites, or even just stolen, printed onto stickers and sold as original, you know, artworks and things like that. And I know that that happens. And so I'm just saying, like, be careful about what you're buying on Etsy. Like, if it sounds like, wow, that's a crazy good deal, it probably is not ethical. Let's just put it that way. And we know that there have been coloring book images that have been just pirated and reprinted, you know, put a different cover on it and call it, you know, something original. And so that happens. I'm just saying. Anyway, about this book. So this is Enchanted, an extraordinary seek and find coloring book. And this is, I thought, I kind of guessed that it would be like this, where it's just like doodly images, which is great. That's kind of what I was expecting. But I sort of like the idea that this is a seek and find. So it gives you a list down here at the bottom of, you know, items that you need to find. I'm really not into color by number, or I really am not into the cute and cozy. I did buy a couple of them just to kind of see if I could get into it, and I bought some alcohol markers, and I don't know. Like, I don't know. I can't get into it. Maybe I will, but at this point, I'm having a hard time with it. So this is the Magical Unicorn Society. It is not in the best condition. I think this one must have been on the bottom of the stack of about 600, because it is like the whole spine is just dented. It's like squashed right here. It's glue bound. I don't think it's like glue and stitch. No, maybe it is stitch bound. Let's see. Yeah, it's stitch bound. was going to say, if it was glue bound, it would be really difficult to disassemble it. But since it's stitch bound, most books that are stitch bound are also glued, but they're a lot easier to take apart. So this might be a book that I disassemble and put into like a little portfolio or something, because that's gonna bug me, the spine. Anyway, but I think this one is kind of cute, sort of patterny, a little bit folk artish. So the unicorns are in different like chapters, sort of. The gold unicorn and the silver unicorn. Water moons. See, the pages are all wrinkled. I don't know. I might return this one. That's just not... Even if it was only $5, I might return it. I don't know. Anyway, then I got this one, Country Life. 45 detachable pages. So yeah, this one is all glue bound. But based on the cover, I thought that is really cute, you know. Oh yeah, it's just glued here, so you can see the spine is separate. I usually don't like books that have like captions or words or, you know, things like that in them. But I think I could get behind it, because these are kind of like vintage sort of images, and I really like vintage stuff. So one other thing about the scanning and copying thing. So back when I first started coloring, which was like 2015, 16, it was hard to find coloring books that I really liked. And so one of the things that I did, just to make it nicer for myself, to give myself a better experience, was I bought a lot of Dover coloring book, or a lot of Dover books that were copyright free. And so I would copy those images and then print them onto paper, you know, so I could save the original. And I could reprint it, resize it, you know, whatever, and kind of manipulate it, edit it, or whatever. And I colored a lot of those. And so, like, different ones, like there was a Paisley book, and there was these like florals and just, you know, different things. And so I guess like from back then, like that was kind of stuck in my head, that like, unless the book was copyright free, you really, you know, shouldn't be copying anything. And so, you know what I'm saying? So that was kind of like where that idea got put in my head. And yeah, well, that's the cover image right there. And I would like to color that one. It kind of reminds me of a Tomislav Tomic sort of image a little bit. Or a little bit kind of Art Nouveau-y. Anyway, so I think this is a cute book. Most of these coloring books from Book Outlet are like between $5 and $7. Something like that. I think the Mythographic books are like $7.99. But anyway, so I got this Color Me capybaras, and it's really funny because, oh, what's her name? Axic. She has a YouTube channel. I can't remember her last name. She's been coloring in this book, and it's really funny because I ordered this book before I ever even stumbled on her channel, and then it took like 10 days to get my order. So like, I got this about a week ago. Anyway, so I had ordered this, and then I found her channel, and then she's been coloring in this, and I'm just like, oh my god, I love what she's doing with it, and it's so cute. I won't show you that page. That'll be in my end of the month pages, but I've only done one, but it is so cute. Like, it just makes me laugh. It just little cute capybaras, you know? Little capybara family. And sometimes I have a hard time with coloring animals because I just, I don't know, I'm like scared of them or something. Look at this, the two capybaras in the, what do you call it? Skateboarding. And there's no duplicates. There's no duplicates in this book, and it's pretty thick. Like, there's quite a few pages. So, yeah. Anyway, this is an adorable book. So, I totally recommend getting this book. And then, so there's this whole series of Color Me books. And so, I got the Color Me Texas. Some cool animals in Texas. There's a bison, saddle, like in the sky and stuff. That'll be fun. There's a riverboat, cactus and cowboys, and I'm not sure what that is. Oh, pecan pie. So yeah. Oh, I like that with all the different cactus. So that one's cool. And then Color Me New Orleans. And I thought this will be really fun to make some really super colorful pages. Bright, sparkly pages, you know. Some beignets. Some gumbo. And, of course, Mardi Gras, right? The alligators. So anyway, yeah, I like that one too. And then this one, Floriographic. Something's on the cover of this. I don't know what that is. And this one looks like somebody spilled coffee on it or something. It wasn't me. It came like that. So that's not okay. And some of the pages are kind of wrinkled. And, you know, I think it was like $5 or $6. So I'll probably just keep it. But yeah, so there's a, what was the deal? An artist coloring book of the hidden language of flowers. So there's supposed to be, there's like a meaning to each flower. And yeah, so I guess you're supposed to learn about like what the meanings of these different flowers are at the same time. Kind of is reminding me of that show. What was that show that took place in Australia with Sigourney Weaver? What's the name of that show, you guys? With her daughter, and Sigourney Weaver is she's a florist, and she runs a home for like battered women, like a women's shelter. Anyway, that's what this book reminded me of. But it's a really good show. If you haven't seen that show, somebody remind me what the name of it is in the comments. So this is The Lost Forest. And I got this because Ghost Shrimp is the artist. And he's the one that did Adventure Time. And my kids grew up with Adventure Time. And so, I don't know. I never really liked it. Like, I always thought it was just super weird. But I can appreciate the art, and I thought, and he's done a bunch of other stuff too. You can see I've gone through and actually marked some pages that I'd like to color in here. Usually I don't like to use these little sticky tabs because, especially if you leave them on the page for very long, because they will leave a tiny bit of adhesive on the page. And if you like to do backgrounds with pan pastels or anything like that, you'll definitely see that. So it's the same as like with fingerprints or whatever. But so if you do that, I don't, just be aware that you might see that shape. So anyway, so this is a pretty cool book. Lots of cool, just quirky, like alien adventures in here. So I don't know if I showed this to you guys last time I did a haul. I might have, but this actually just came from Amazon, and I really wanted to just get it because I thought it was so cool. I think Maya showed this on her channel. Other people probably have too, but that's where I saw it. So this is just a kid's book. If you haven't seen it, this is just a children's book that doesn't have any text. And it's all just black line drawings. And there's another one that's called Spot and Dot. And so Spot, the cat, Spot is the cat, and then Dot is a dog. And anyway, so it's this little boy, and his cat jumps out the window chasing a bird. And it's just his adventure, you know, getting his cat back. So, one of those books that a lot of people have enjoyed coloring. And I thought it would be kind of fun to... Yeah, I did talk to you guys about it, because I talked about how the cover is embossed. So, now I remember. Anyway, sorry. And then I had some books from Amazon Japan that I wanted to show you. And these are nothing new. I know that, you know, people have seen these before. But this one is Yoshimi Sekiguchi? Sorry. Coloring Book of Secret Dream Story. Yeah, so I'm not going to flip through the whole book, but I've seen this, I have seen flip-throughs of this book, and I just really wanted it, so I got it. It's nice paper. It feels like nice paper anyway, we'll see. I am going to do a, I'm actually kind of getting ready for it. I'm going to do a test of paper treatments that would help make watercolor or coloring books a little more friendly for watercolor. And I mean actual watercolor, not just, you know, water-based markers or whatever, but like watercolor. Anyway, so there's that one, and it's a pretty detailed book, like, but yeah, I just thought I'd show it to you because I thought it was cool. And then I got the series of 3 from what's it? How do you say it? Tomoko Yashiro or Teshiro. Tomoko Teshiro. I don't know what order these go in, but again, oh, I did do that one. Just playing around, trying to see how stuff worked on here. So it's a whole story. So this one is about Princesses and Fairies coloring book. And I've heard a lot of people saying that they were, you know, kind of put off by how detailed it is. And so, but I just love the imagery. I love her elves, her little fairies and stuff. She just has such a cool style. I like how she really incorporates that kind of Asian style, like with her butterflies and whatnot, into these stories. I don't know. I just really like the way that, I just love her work. Kind of reminds me of Klimt a little bit, and some other artists like from that same era. And so what I've been thinking about with working in these books is not trying to worry about the background so much. Like, I think that a lot of us sort of get hung up on not wanting to work on a page because we don't know what we're going to do with the background. But you don't always have to work on the background. Like, you don't always have to do a background. Like this page, I don't know. I just don't really think it needs a background necessarily. So, and it's so detailed that, like, I'm definitely not going to be trying to color in every single petal of every flower, you know? My thinking is that I would do almost like washes of color and then come back in and add some details here and there, you know? But I'm not thinking that I have to add a really special background to it. Same with these pages, you know, like they don't, you can leave the background white. It doesn't have to be, you know, you don't have to worry about going in and, you know, going around all these little details to get a background into your coloring page. But anyway, so these are really beautiful coloring books. These are older, like this one. Of course, it's in Japanese. I can't read it. Yeah, 2015. So this one is 10 years old. I think this might have been the first one. I don't know. That was probably the first one. Anyway, this is Fantasy Coloring Book. When was this one published? 2016. Oh yeah, this is the one that has Alice in Wonderland in it. I don't know. I just love her style. And even if I never color in these, like, I'm really glad to have them. But I probably will. I don't know if I see myself, like, completing the whole book, but yeah, but I really love them. Let's see when this one was put out. This one is also 2015. So this is the Fairy Tale Coloring Book. The Snow Queen. Nutcracker. So yeah, so these are all from, God, look at that. These are all from Amazon Japan. And, you know, it's like once you get to a certain amount of purchase on there, especially with books, the shipping doesn't really change that much when you add more books. So, but this one is my favorite from that whole thing. This one is amazing. This is the book that prompted me to actually go to Amazon Japan and start shopping, because it's just beautiful. Like, I don't even know what to say. I don't know. It's like sometimes you see something or you have something in your hands that you just, I don't know. There's just something about it that strikes a chord, you know? So this is Journey to Wonderland. I don't know if I can... Well, there's the ISBN number. So you can find this on Amazon Japan. And if you guys want ISBNs or anything from any of these other books, just let me know. I don't think I'm going to link everything. But anyway, so sometimes you just see these books and you just go, oh my gosh, something about it. But yeah, so the line work is toned in different sections of the book. So this one is kind of a sort of a mauve-y sepia sort of color. And again, this is another book that I'm thinking, I'm just not going to worry about the backgrounds. Like, I just want to color the images, you know? Because they're so cute. I just love these little fairies and stuff. They're just so adorable. And I love that, like, her line is kind of, you know, kind of shaky or whatever. It's like she drew with, you could tell that she was drawing with a fountain pen. I mean, that would be my guess. And then see the color. I don't know. They're just so beautiful. These images. Look at this clock. Look at the little girl on the clock. Oh. Yeah, I love this book. I love, 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 love this book. I might have to get another copy of this book. I think this one was 2022. No, 2023. Yoko Kitami. Printed in Japan. Look at this one with the little bowls. A little bowl, look at, she's got a little net. She's like fishing in there. It's so cute. This is the one where the little neighborhoods are like floating. So these are kind of like a grayish blue line. This reminds me of Alice in Wonderland for sure. And there's a title on each page. Cozy Rooms, this one's called. Forest. Look at her. See? She's so cute. Look at her. She's playing her little violin. In the warm light. There's the little girl. Yeah, so I guess I just flipped through this whole book. But a beautiful sleeping flower child. I'll probably do this first. Just to get a feel for it, you know? Yeah, and there it kind of makes you feel like that's the end of the book, right? It kind of makes you feel like that's the end of the book, but then there's all these other pages. Oh, these are cool. I love these, like, label pages. I think I'll work on some of these first, actually. And just try some different things on them. So, anyway, so that's my chatty flip video. And I just wanted to, you know, give you my sort of, I don't know, updated opinion or whatever about the copying pages kind of issue that I seem to have made an issue. That's not really an issue. Anyway, yeah, I have a bunch of notes over here that I really have thought about it a lot. So, you know, yeah. So that's that. And, yeah, there's a good little, that's a pretty decent, thumbnail. Okay, guys, I love you. And I am going to do some like color along videos. I just am kind of trying to figure out how to set up my camera to do it, because I like to work on an easel, like with my page kind of slanted. Otherwise, it hurts my neck. So I'm trying to figure out how to get my camera situated and stuff. So anyway, there's that. Okay, love you guys. Bye for now.